A loophole in Megan's law is sparking necessary changes. Hello, thanks for joining us. I'm Ada Marisa, and you're watching Comcast Newsmakers. Our guest this hour is State Representative Frank Farry. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So this is House Bill 1874. Can you explain what that is?
Sure. It actually closes a loophole in Megan's law regarding where the sexual offenders are getting their counseling treatment. They're obviously mandated to have ongoing counseling treatment, and one of the loopholes is obviously the offender has to report where they live and where they work, but these counseling centers are located in our community, and the community has no idea, especially the local government and law enforcement. They have no idea as these offenders are coming into the community for their treatment.
Now, was it something that was overlooked, or just?
Yeah, it was one of those unintended consequences. People just didn't think about any notifications relating to it, and it happened in one of the communities I represent by chance. An individual was lost. He asked for directions. The person given directions asked what he was going into that building for. He said he was a sexual offender and he was going in there for his treatment. So, of course, that sparked some hysteria in the community.
Sure.
It actually was covered by all the Philadelphia media networks and whatnot, and the legislation to address it. These offenders are doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're going to their mandated counseling. The counseling centers are approved through the State Review Board, so these aren't fly-by-night businesses. They're actually state-approved counseling centers. But the offenders, you have 10 or 20 offenders coming into a community in a given week for their treatment, and nobody knows they're there.
Right.
So what the legislation does is it requires the counseling center annually to notify the local chief of police as well as the county district attorney of the kind of work that they're doing. That they're treating sex offenders, whether sexually violent predators or just the lower tier sex offenders.
Now, will it go as far as letting them know which individuals are in that area being treated? I mean, you can look online and see who lives near you. And
yeah, we kept the law pretty basic. As we reviewed it with our attorneys, there was a concern that we'd run into some civil liberty issues with that treatment and potentially HIPAA. So what the decision was notify local law enforcement. We're going to see how that works out, and maybe in the future, if we need to expand it, we can.
And then does that information, it's not made public, I mean, it is public to the people, but it's not put out there, like you can look for it. It's
there's not a notification. There's not a formal notification process with it. And again, it's going to be up to the local government when law enforcement's informed of these individuals coming into the community
and how they choose to handle it.
How they choose to handle it. These centers have to be located somewhere, and they have to be located in places where the offenders can get to them. This happens to be a converted industrial building right across the street from a residential neighborhood. So it is in an industrial area, but there's residences right across the street.
And how easily do you think this will be passed, or where are you in the stage of that game?
Since it's written in such a way as it's not overly burdensome in terms of the notification, the hope is that there's not going to be much opposition to the bill. There really shouldn't be. We're not trying to overly burden things. We're not trying to be even more onerous on the stigma of sexual offenders. We're just trying to make sure the right people in the community know that they're going to be there. The bill's currently in the Judiciary Committee. I'm hoping that early next year the bill will come out of the Judiciary Committee, and I don't see any reason why it couldn't be fast-tracked.
Great. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it for being here today. Keep us updated. Bring us more news and information and get a chance.
Great. Thanks for your time.
This hour's Newsmaker has been State Representative Frank Farry. I'm Ada Marisa. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching Newsmakers.